Hello, everyone. In the email that I sent to you, in which I attached a video, the video cut off after 20 seconds, and I apologize for that. I have no idea what went wrong, but it's gone, so now I have to do it again. So this will probably be a little quicker than that one because I want to go for pizza. I gave you a handout in class, and that explains the how to do it in a lot of detail, and so you should be able to read that and do it. However, some people when they listen to something, comprehend it better than when they read it. So this is giving you both. This is what's called a learning exercise. What that means is you learn by doing as opposed to learn by being told how to do something. And apparently if you learn by doing, you learn better. So this is a learning exercise. With a minimum effort, you should be able to get 65%. Apply yourself and you'll get 75 to 90%, and if you put in even a greater effort, you'll be in the 95%. It's really hard to fail. Some people try and manage to do it only because they leave it too late, and they do shoddy work. So as long as you tackle this, you should do okay. The purpose is threefold. Number one is it cements the material from Chapter 2. In Chapter 2, you get the academic side of doing a contract. This shows you the practical side, so the two go together nicely. It familiarizes you with clauses that you find in formal contracts so that when you're dealing with your lawyer, you have a better understanding of what's going on. And the third thing is you can actually reduce legal fees dealing with a lawyer if you know what's expected from you in the way of information to draft the contract. There are three types of contracts, as we said at the beginning of the contract chapter. One is written, one is oral, and one is partly written and partly oral. So I'm not going to go into that here because we cover it in class. There are three types of forms. One is a letter of agreement when it's less formal. Okay, so it's just on your letterhead and you write to the other side and you say, Dear Bob, just confirming our relationship and I want to outline the terms of our agreement so that we're both on the same page. And then you list all the information in there that you would list in a formal contract. And then at the end you say, please sign the enclosed copy of this letter and return it to me, keeping the original for your records. Okay, letter of agreement. Or there's the invoice type, which you're probably more familiar with because you lease phones and things like that. On the front it says what you're getting. Both people are supposed to sign it. And then on the reverse side there's the MICE type with all the information about the terms and conditions. What we want to do in this exercise is we want to do the formal contract, the party, the first part here and after referred to as stuff, because we want to really know what it is the lawyer does and how you can work with your lawyer. You can do a letter of agreement if you want, or an invoice type, but my suggestion is for this exercise better to use the formal agreement. Speaking of which, there are two precedents on eLearn, so the written instructions are there, and then there's two precedents. One is 8 pages and one is about 12 pages, and you think, oh my gosh, I'm going to use a shorter one because it's easier. Sure, go ahead. Doesn't matter whether you use the short one or the long one. The mark. I've been doing this for years, and the marks come out almost perfectly the same. Okay, so in the dealer agreement, why would you use it? Well, first of all, you have to remember that the dealer and distributorships are for vehicles. So take out anything that has to do with vehicles, because this isn't a vehicle situation. But if you looked at the dealer agreement, what you have is a force majeure clause in there, which you think, hey, that's pretty good, but I like the other agreement better, so cut and paste. That's what lawyers do. You take the force majeure clause out of one, you put it in the other, or you look at the other one and you say, well, I like the dealership agreement, but the other one has a better termination clause, for example. So I'll take that out and I'll put it in the dealer agreement. So and then the other thing you do is you take out inappropriate terms and conditions, or clauses that you don't think are relevant. Keeping in mind that these are good precedents, and so if I had to take it and go, oh, take that out, oh, take this out, oh, that's no good, no, that doesn't apply, then it wouldn't be a good precedent. So there's very little that you should actually consider taking out. But for example, in a lease agreement, there's a term called, this isn't a lease agreement, by the way, overholding tenant. And I had a client one time sign an agreement and then found out the overholding tenant meant if they stayed in the premises after the term before they negotiated a renewal, they were considered an overholding tenant and had to pay twice the rent. Well, hey, that's a term you might want to take out of a contract, right? So look for those. And again, there's not very many you should have to take out, so don't worry about it. Yeah. And then what do? Well, people go, oh my gosh, I just don't know how to do this. You take a precedent, decide on which one you want to use, and then you know who the parties are. The precedent doesn't have parties in it. What do we do? Well, you take the precedents and you are the parties and you put them in the agreement. Oh, okay. Date. Blank. Oh, well, put in the date. And that's all you're doing. I mean, when I do a contract, I don't start from scratch. I use the precedent, but I don't know who the parties are going to be, so I have to take them and put them in. So that's really what we're doing. And then you have all the terms and conditions. Well, you want to make sure that those terms and conditions are in your contract, otherwise it won't be enforceable to your liking. And then I said put in your calculations. I talked about that in class. You want to do simple interest calculations. Oh, but I haven't taken business math yet. How do I do it? Business people are out there and they go, okay, you have to pay me interest. Well, how much? Gee, I don't know. Well, you go online, you find out, or you talk to a math instructor here, or you go online and you look how to calculate simple interest, and then you just make sure it's in the agreement, okay? And then the biggest problem that most people have is they do not set up the signature lines. You get to the end of my precedent and it says signature lines go here. Oh, let's leave it like that, and you expect the other side will know how to set up signature lines correctly. Bad idea, because they may not, and so you will not bind the right party to your agreement. Okay, now we've done that in the first class, and we'll probably touch on it again when I talk about seals before you actually do the assignment. How long? Length of time. It should not take you 8 hours. Okay, it should probably take you 2 or 3. And length. Well, the one precedent is about 8 pages and the other is about 12. If you're at 18, 19, 22 pages, then obviously you're off the rails, and it's time to contact me. The length will be approximately the length of the precedents. Okay, what else? You can add facts. One year I had something that was covered by copyright, and one group said, well, let's see, we should have a copyright assignment here, and so they added an addendum and they put in a copyright assignment. But you have to tell me what your assumptions are. Okay, I assume that there would be in some cases a copyright assignment, and therefore we have elected to include one. Okay, but you do not change the facts in the problem. Oh, I don't know how a corporation signs, so I'll just pretend that they're both sole proprietorships. You cannot do that. The whole point of the exercise is identifying the right parties. You give a hard copy to me, and you make sure that your name and section number's on it, please, because I've got 3 sections, and I'll be going through, and I'll get to Harold Smith, and I'll go, oh, which section is this person in? And you just irritate the judge that's marking your contract, okay? And then the last thing is you can do it yourself as an individual. You give me 1 copy. Or you can team up with someone else, 2 of you, okay? And you do it together. Give me 1 copy with both your names on it, okay? Or you can do it in a group of 3, no more than 3, please, but a group of 3, and then you give me 1 contract with all 3 of your names and section numbers on it. Okay, if you give me 3, I'm going to go, hey, wait, these people cheated. They've copied each other. So you have to be careful about that. About copying and cheating, every year I catch a couple of people doing this, and I don't like it. Okay, giving you 0. And I'm sure that you don't like it either, so don't do it. What is cheating? Well, if you think it's wrong, it's probably wrong. But here's an example. There's a team of 2, right? And one of the persons has a best friend who comes running up and says, I don't know how to do the calculations. How do I do them? And you go, oh, well, look, here, I've done it. It's on my memory stick. You just copy it. Wrong. You tell them how to do it. They go away and do it. Or, oh, should there be a force majeure clause in there? I don't know what it is, and I don't know what it looks like. And you say, oh, well, we've done one. So here, just copy it. Or worse still, it's due tomorrow and I haven't done it. Or it's due in an hour and I haven't done it. Oh, here's my memory stick. Just copy it. It's a precedent. Peter will never know. They'll all look the same. Do not believe it, okay? Because formatting and everything, I can, and usually people that want to cheat like that make really stupid mistakes, and I go, oh, hey, I've seen that stupid mistake again. I go back through them, okay, and I'll call you out on it. Okay, I think that's about all there is. Like I said, it's covered by the written instructions. If you have any questions, you can either wait and bring it up in class, because I think it's due on I'm just looking at my calendar here, it's due on the 18th, which is next week, so we have classes on Friday. You're probably going to do it over the weekend, so you can ask me questions on Friday. But, email me at 11 o'clock at night, the night before it's due, and, odds are I won't read your email because I'm generally in bed asleep. If you cannot wait to ask it in class, then email me, and I will set up a Zoom session, and we can have a one-on-one. All right. But I'd prefer if you ask the questions in class, because the odds are if you don't know, some other students probably have the same question. All right. That's all I'm going to say. It's an 11-minute video. Good luck, and we can talk in class. Thanks.